Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Faringer, an attorney, spiritual guide, and wealth activator. I'm here to help you align your mindset for abundance and break through any glass ceilings with money. If you're ready to embrace your highest calling, manifest with more ease, and create a life that feels lighter and more aligned, then let's dive in. Hello, welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you're having a good day. So I'm going to talk about a topic. I'm going to kind of piggyback on something I talked about last week's episode, which is using day-to-day things that are happening in your life as reflections of ways that you can heal money, wounds around money. Money is not the goal, it's a tool. It helps us get things that we want in life, and it is always reflecting back to us areas of our lives that are already needing or wanting to be healed. It's one of the most powerful tools that you can use to make changes in your life. That's why I like it so much, because it's actually showing you where all the areas are that you can work on, and there's always something to work on as it relates to money. I do this work for a living, and I'm constantly being reminded of where there are areas that I need to focus on, the areas where I need to do things differently, and that's happening in my day-to-day life. And so if you have an intention to change your relationship with money and not worry so much about it, not stress so much about it. By the way, having more money is not going to do that for you. I've said this many times before. If you change your relationship with money, it will not matter how much money you do or don't have. You will feel completely differently about it. You won't stress about it. You won't have to worry about it. You start to realize that worrying about money is a choice. It's not a circumstance in your life. Having $0 in your bank account does not mean that you have to have stress and anxiety. That's a choice. And so starting to realize that money is here to help us. It's here to help us heal, and that it can be one of the most healing things in your life if you let it be. There are things happening in the day-to-day that will show you where your opportunities are for healing. So that's what I want to talk about, is just developing an awareness around it. Just having the mere awareness that every single time you spend money, there's an opportunity for healing. Every single time you get money, there's an opportunity for healing. Every single time an unexpected bill or an unexpected expense comes into your life, there's an opportunity for healing. Every single time somebody makes a comment to you about money, there's an opportunity for healing. Anytime anything is talked about money, there's an opportunity for healing. I can't tell you how healing it is to go through TikTok and watch people talk about money. This triggers so many people, and I love it because I'm like, wow, these people, first of all, TikTok, people will make comments on people's pages, which I don't understand, leaving nasty comments for people. That's never something I've understood. But I can tell you, TikTok or other forms of social media, but TikTok is the best for this, can help you heal your money wounds in ways that you could not possibly imagine, because it will trigger you. It will highlight for you areas that you really can heal and work on. And I'll tell you why. Number one, there's people on TikTok constantly talking about how much money they make on TikTok and other social media platforms. That pisses people off. There's tons of people on there talking about how much money they make in other areas of whatever it is that they do. And they do show the lifestyle that they live. This also pisses people off. There are people talking on there about everything, investments, savings. There's people constantly talking about there on how they don't have enough money and they don't understand how to get by in today's economy. There's so much amazing content on TikTok. Really, if you went on there and just started to scroll through and start to recognize where people are triggering you, where you're getting mad, and looking into the why, you could change your life like that. I mean, it would be that easy. I'm telling you this, guys. And TikTok's free, so is other social media platforms. But I love TikTok for that reason. I also love reality television for that reason. I don't watch a huge amount of reality television, but there is some reality television that I think really does trigger people because it has things around wealth around it. The Real Housewives franchise. I don't watch that, but I know a lot of people that do. Watching people, that have seemingly a lot of money live their lives makes people angry. If that makes you angry, you have a lot of healing to do around money. Being mad that other people have money, being mad that people have this much amount of money, that is a reflection of you, not of them. When we have beliefs that come up around other people having money, that is about you, that's not about them. That's an opportunity to heal. When I see people that have money, if I start to get frustrated by it, because by the way, this happens to me too. I'm always working through money wounds the way we all are. When I start to feel myself getting irritated around a person that has a lot of money, or seemingly I'll tell you the thing that bothers me is when I think people are spending money in a way that I wouldn't, which is pretty much everyone, because rich people spend money on things I never would spend money on, like designer clothes and designer handbags and stuff like that I really have absolutely no care or concern about. But when I catch myself getting into the, oh my gosh, I wish these people were spending their money another way, I know that's an opportunity for me to reframe that and be like, number one, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can make that much money, I can make that much money. And number two, if I make more money, I can use it however I want and I can use it for good. Right? Instead of sitting around and being pissed off that other people have more money than me, that's not going to help me. That does not bring money to you. When you are triggered by something that's happening around you as it relates to money, that's an opportunity for healing. That's an opportunity to say, why am I mad? Digging into it and saying, what is it about this particular person or this situation that makes me mad? Documenting the thoughts so you can get them out. Just let it all out, just so you can kind of start to explore and be like, why am I mad about this? Because doing that, just going through that exercise will help lead you to information that you can use to start to heal it. Other people having money should not trigger you. If it does, you have a lot of opportunity to start working on your relationship with money. Other people spending money on things you wouldn't spend money on. Who cares what other people do with their money? It's theirs. Who cares? And if you catch yourself being judgmental about it or being upset about it, that's an opportunity for you to be curious and be like, why am I mad about this? There are some people, I'm going to be honest with you, that I used to have this belief about that, I didn't feel like they were deserving of having the amount of money that they have. Or these people, all these people on social media are making all this money and they're literally doing nothing. When I spent all of this time going to college and law school and I'm making less than them. This is a belief that I used to have. That comes up occasionally now, but it's pretty rare because I've done so much work around this. I could care less how other people are making money, how much they're making, or what they're spending their money on. That's irrelevant. There's no deservingness or worthiness component that comes into money. Some people are not more deserving of money than others. If we have that belief, that is an area that needs to be healed. Who is it to me to say that one person is more deserving of having money than me or another person? All I know is that we are all abundant. As humans, we are worthy and deserving of everything that comes into our lives. We don't have to do anything more to be worthy and deserving of money. And that there's a lot of money to go around. There's an infinite amount of abundance to go around. And I can get my hands on it. If those people can do it, I can too. I just try to reframe everything in a way where I can show gratitude and where I can make it a statement that is helpful to me. So I'm going to just throw a couple names out there. I used to think, the Kardashians. They made me so mad because I'm they have so much money and they haven't really worked for it. Now, I don't actually believe that's true, by the way. I do think that they have, but I also think that they had circumstances that maybe were better or provided for opportunities other people don't have. But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The world is not completely fair. We all are born into certain different circumstances. We are all in different places in our lives. Everyone is different. We're all living our lives. We're all on our journey. Nothing is going to be equal all the time and nothing is going to be fair. If you think it's supposed to be that way, you're going to make life incredibly hard for yourself because a lot of that stuff just doesn't matter. And I had to let a lot of that go. There are people that I see on, again, the news, social media, and I'm these people are spending all this money on nonsensical stuff. But you know what? That's not my place to say. If that's their money and that's what they want to do with it, fine. Because when I get that much money, I'll just do something differently with it. I'll do something that aligns with my values, which is probably own like an animal sanctuary. That's what I would do with it. I wouldn't go buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cars and like handbags. That kind of stuff like used to drive me insane. And sometimes when I see it on the news or social media, it does make me angry. And then I'm like, this is just more healing opportunities for me to work through. What other people spend their money on has nothing to do with me. How other people make their money has nothing to do with me. There are constantly opportunities for you to find where you can be healing your relationship with money. And I would absolutely tell you, just start there. Social media, television, movies, podcasts. Like if you just look at media in general and start to recognize areas where you're getting triggered around money and writing it down, you are going to uncover a lot. You may start to uncover things that you didn't even remember. You might start to uncover things that came up with your parents when you were younger. You may remember something that your sibling said to you about money. You may remember something a teacher taught you about money that stuck with you forever, and now you've been living your life with this story that's not even yours. The amount of information that you can get by just getting curious around like, oh, why am I getting so mad about this thing around money? Why am I so mad that this person has money? Why is that bothering me? Just getting curious around it, asking questions. Other people having money doesn't affect you. It just doesn't. And so if you are easily triggered by things like that, that's an opportunity for healing. What is it that is making you mad about it? What's the thing? Because it's not just that they have money. There's something else underneath it. You think it's not fair, or you think you've worked harder, or you think X, Y, and Z, or you were told X, Y, and Z, or whatever the thing is. But get curious about it. Dig into it. You will easily start to find gems that you can be like, oh, this is a gem. This is an area for me to start healing my story with money. That's what I'm saying. You don't need me to come in and do that for you. I mean, I'm happy to help people figure this out because I think it's super fun, but you can start doing this on your own if you just pay attention. Go on TikTok and scroll for like 5 minutes and see what things that piss you off. Start there. I'm not telling you to watch content you don't want to watch, by the way. Like, there's so much political content on TikTok in particular, and I could care less about most of that. But some of the other stuff, like, I'm like, oh, these things around money are amazing. And it's interesting if you read people's comments when people are talking about money too. People will make the nastiest comments to other people around money. And it actually makes me laugh because that's such a reflection of where they are in their life. If you feel the need to go onto somebody's social media page and write some nasty comment about a post that they left, or how obnoxious they are for flaunting their lifestyle, or talking about how much money they make, that's a reflection of you, not on them. That's you saying, I have huge fears and insecurities around money, and instead of working on them, I'm going to just leave a nasty comment on your page. It makes me laugh. Like, sometimes I'll read the comments and I'm just like, wowza. And if people are really getting nailed, I will always try to throw in a supportive comment like, hey, hey, keep going, you're doing a good job, like, don't pay attention to the haters, stuff like that. Because I believe in encouraging people. I don't believe in shutting people down unless, like, there are occasions where people need to be shut down if they're doing something that's just like so morally offensive. But also there's a fine line with that, right? Because we all have different beliefs about what is offensive and what is not. But seriously, go onto a social media for 5 minutes and just see what thoughts and feelings come up if you like look at things around money or wealth, and just see what starts to happen. Does somebody talking about budgeting or saving like start to make you feel anxious in your body? There's an opportunity for healing. Does somebody talking about investing, does that scare you? Does that make you feel like, oh my God, I don't know anything about investing, this is too complicated? That's an opportunity for healing. Investing is complicated, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. And if you can get to a point where you move past the fear. So just try it. Like, I mean, I don't love to encourage people to go on social media because I think we all need a detox from it, but it's honestly one of the best places to heal money. Just go on, find a couple posts about money or wealth, read the comments people leave, and be like, oh my gosh, is that how I feel? How do I feel about this person making this nasty comment about this person on TikTok who's just like living their best life? Like, are you just pissed off that other people are living their best lives? If so, there's a lot of opportunities for you to heal there. There's a lot of opportunities for you to change. If you don't like your life, you need to change it, not somebody else. It's your choice. So I challenge you to go on to TikTok or Instagram or something and like type in a search, wealth, money, saving, budgeting, something that makes you uncomfortable, and just see what comes up. I promise you, if you go on TikTok and you just like get one or two things of people talking about money, if you watch it for like the whole way through, you're all of a sudden going to start getting those. That's how the algorithm works. I know people know TikTok better than me, but you're going to start getting a bunch of stuff in that arena. It makes me laugh though, because it's such a healing thing to do, to go on TikTok and be like, I don't feel anything when these people are saying this. I can be totally neutral about this. Like, this person is flashing a fancy home in my face. Good for them. That's awesome for them. If they got that, however they got it, good for them. Like, I'm not going to be pissed off at people about that stuff. And it's particularly important if somebody does like really upset you. It's interesting to kind of dig into why. And I mean, Donald Trump is a very polarizing person nowadays. Most people are on one side or the other. I'm not trying to raise any like political issues here, but what I will say, a lot of people are pissed off at how rich he is. That's another place to look and just be like, why am I so mad about this? And I look at that situation. I look at him and I look at other people who are billionaires that I really don't align with, maybe on a moral basis or on a value and how I live my life basis. And I think to myself, that is such an amazing example of why money does not discriminate, of why there is no requirement you have to be worthy or deserving to get it. Instead of looking at those people being like, that makes me mad, I'm like, how can I reframe this in a way that helps me? Oh yeah, there's no requirement that you have to be worthy or deserving or be a good person to have money. And these are all shining examples of that. So all of these things that I was putting on myself to say that I have to achieve all of these things to be worthy or deserving, they're not true. We create blocks in our own lives that prevent us from being able to get the things that we want. And this is a big area where people do that with worthy and deservingness. They think that they have to be worthy and deserving to get things. You should be able to pull up the TV or pull up social media and be like, none of these people are deserving. So then we're just going to eliminate that as a requirement off the table. So I don't have to, it doesn't mean you don't need to live your life aligned with your values. What it does mean is stop creating obstacles for yourself, because there's no such thing that says you have to be a good person to have money. There's no such thing that says you have to be worthy and deserving to have money. There's no such thing that says you have to go to school to have money. There's no such thing that says just because you go to graduate school or you get a professional degree, you're going to make more money than people who are on YouTube and TikTok, because that's not true. That's just not the way of the world. And the more you get on board with that and recognize that all of these people are just creating opportunities for themselves, and they are doing probably all of the things that all of us want to be doing, and they're just doing it better, differently, more authentically, because they don't give a crap what other people think about them, you can start to use them as examples of like, I want to be more like that. I'm not telling you to be a bad person, by the way. I'm not telling you to align with people that are bad, but like, I see people on TikTok all the time where I'm like, if that person can get money, I can get money, right? Like, that's what I want you to do, is like, how can you use these things to your advantage? How can you use what's happening around you to start exploring how you feel about money, and where are the areas that you can really start to change how you feel? Because that's going to make an enormous difference in your lives. I hope you had one thing in here that you can take away from today. Please, I challenge you to go on to Instagram or TikTok or some other platform, although the other ones are not as good for this, and just read things about wealth or money and see what comes up with you, because that right there is an amazing starting point for your healing journey. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Bye. Hey, before you go, would you love to receive my 3-step masterclass to easily create and hold wealth for free? It's called Effortless Money, and it includes the exact framework to start attracting money effortlessly and manifesting abundance with more ease. If you want it for free, all you have to do is leave an honest review of the Wealth Embodied podcast, Take a screenshot of this episode and put it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Brianna_Faringer, and we will send you the free Effortless Money Masterclass. This is how my clients have manifested a $13,000 check, a promotion resulting in a $30,000 salary increase, and significantly improved relationships. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time on the Wealth Embodied podcast.